See that?
What up?
We're already 100% on track.
Exactly. We're learning. Week by week, we're learning. What up, though, guys?
First, first episode that is on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's out.
And my lady, she, because in that episode, I was saying, like, oh, yeah, I can add, like, I can put a picture in here.
Yeah.
Had no idea how to do it, so I was just like, I'm going to hope I'm going to hope majority of people just listen on an app where they're like, I bet he brought the picture up. In reality, I did not bring the picture up.
No, I was looking for it, too.
I was fucking...
I was, too. I was like, I repeated it a few times.
No, I literally tried, and then I just fucked the whole thing up where I, like, had to just restart the whole thing because I just made it the picture, the whole episode.
Nice.
It was just a picture of me, like...
Nice.
So, she said she'll help me. She knows how to do it, so... I guess we'll just roll with the punches like the doctor ordered.
Exactly.
But,
we're back again.
Yeah, dude, we're back again.
Episode 8.
Yeah, it is. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We got one episode with video out on YouTube now. You guys should go check that out. It's pretty cool. It's pretty funny.
20 views. I know it sounds gay, but...
Like I said, bro, you got to think about it like this. 20 views doesn't sound crazy, but think about 20 people sitting in front of us right now.
No, what I was going to say is I expected to go on break and see the video and see it had like 0.
Yeah.
And it said like 19. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. It's got video now. It's something for people to watch.
Which is dope.
Yeah. It's more engaging.
Yeah, because if you're like just watching something and you're just listening to it. I do this. I'm a fucking psychopath. So I'll be listening to something just like this.
Yeah.
And it's fucking crazy. I'll just be like, it'll always be like a history podcast. It'll be like, the Japanese cut off the Filipinos' heads. And I'll just be there like,
imagining it.
Be like, that probably wouldn't be fun.
That probably hurt.
Did you know? Hold on.
Are you going to pull out a fun fact from under there or what? You got flashcards under there?
This is footage of you sucking a dude. Give me $500 or I'm going to post it to your mom.
Fuck.
I'm the dude. I co-starred.
I don't remember that.
But, no, yeah. It's pretty dope. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if people want to see
video,
something,
yeah,
anything. But, yeah, dude, I'm going to try to get good as hell. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have my girl get good as hell at Adobe Premiere. I'm going to be like a fucking Russian pimp, just like... Yes, do the work for me. And
put picture up of me of Wall of Flame so the viewers can see.
Yes, show me look retarded for people. Dude, all right. I don't want to make... The last episode was majority about me recovering.
It was, bro. You were struggling.
I was.
You're struggling.
There was a couple times where I was like, this sucks. I'm just going to end it and we can try again. But I was like, no. And then watching the video is kind of funny because it was... You fucking carried it. I'm not going to lie.
It was funny because in the beginning, you pull out the shirt and you're like... Yeah, folks, it was all worth it. And then towards the end of the episode, you're just kind of like, I
fucking regret this. This sucks. I fucking hate myself.
What am I doing with my life?
And then the one thing I remember listening to was I was like, when you kept bringing up, I was like, yeah, this is like when a lady gets raped and then someone goes, oh, remember when they held you down? And then I was like, Jesus Christ. Folks, I wasn't in my right headspace. My brain was very seriously probably inflamed.
I mean, you said you were like what, sick? You were feeling sick for a few days?
Dude, I felt I couldn't poop. So remember when I told you I vomited blood?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought about it and I was like,
just the sauce?
No. On the way home from work, I hadn't shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm good now. My BMs are fucking functioning.
Good.
But on the way home from work, I was like, I'm gonna eat some Swedish fish. And I got like a huge-ass bag of Swedish fish. Then I woke up at like 3 a.m, like,
yeah.
And then I fucking ran to the bathroom, and it was obviously red because Swedish fish are red.
You like those?
You don't?
They're like stiff. They're like stiff and kind of chalky.
They are.
Right?
I love them, dude.
I like more gummier textures, like some peach rings.
I hate peach rings.
Fuck up some peach rings all day.
Yeah, the Swedish fish was what the color was.
That's good that you weren't vomiting blood.
But I did not shit for today. Today was the first time I got like a full. I was doing little like shrimp baskets, you know, like fucking little pet like rabbit shit in the toilet.
Yeah,
and that was like I was like fuck.
That fucking sucks.
But like I did X-Lax laxatives.
Oh, you did?
Because I was like, dude, I gotta get this out of me. Nothing.
Damn.
It was like the fucking chocolate bar.
You're fucking plugged up.
I was munching a good amount of it too. I ate like half the bar.
Holy shit.
A little shrimp basket again.
Yeah.
A little rabbit pile in the toilet. But that was it. I was like, fuck.
You're like, I know I got that shit in me. Come on.
But no, yeah. Today I woke up and I was like, wait. I woke up and I was like, wait. And I galloped to the bathroom, but then it was a 3 flush.
Damn, bro.
3 flush.
Damn.
Yeah, like the first, I was like overflowing. The first one.
You're just like, damn, I gotta.
People are gonna watch this and be like, ew. But no, the first one was like, I fucking, I Statue of Liberty out of the water. So I was like, I gotta flush it. Second one, Statue of Liberty out of the water. And I was like, fuck. Third one, got everything, contained under the water. The water is the best thing about it because, that masks the smell.
Kinda.
That's what the water's for.
Yeah, sure. Mine aren't masked. I think I got like a special pheromone or something.
Your what isn't masked?
My shits.
So they don't smell?
No, they smell.
Wait, what are you saying then?
Like, I don't think the water does anything for my shits.
Like it overpowers it?
Yeah, I gotta use that like potpourri.
That shit was fun. I remember like I used to just like spraying that shit.
Yeah. I mean, we have it, so I figured I might as well use it, right?
Yeah, dude.
Make it better for everyone.
Or you could just descend into the darkness and just leave a pile there for the next person. Your mom walks in and just, ew.
No, I do that at the shop, though. At my work, we have a nice bathroom now. So I turn off the light so the vent doesn't go. And then so that for the next time, the next person is just...
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's hanging out there.
Bro, I work factory, so I'm second shift, right?
Yeah.
So we get the brunt of the damage from first shift.
They fucking just...
The bathroom is destroyed, dude. Dude, the other week I went into one of the stalls, dude. I swear to God, bro, there was shit, like, up to the seat.
Oh my gosh.
Like just toilet paper and actual shit peeked up, and I was like, I'm not gonna try. So I just went to the next stall. It was a little better, but it's literally just a bunch of people who very well could be alcoholics.
Yeah.
Just it looks like the movie Warfare, dude.
Well, yeah, bro. They think somebody's gonna clean up after them.
They do.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. I was like, they have to get paid so much fucking money.
Custodians.
Like they hire like a cleaner.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, like I think they come every day, and I was like, they literally just, it's only bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
They must get paid so much fucking money.
They have to, bro. They have to.
If I had to deal with fucking like, it's literally like 80 dudes turds.
Yeah. Well, think about people that
daily,
like the dudes in the trucks that come and rinse out the porta potties.
Oh yeah,
that shit's fucking crazy, bro. Because they gotta suck all that shit out. Yeah, and then they gotta go in there and rinse everything down. And I don't know what's up with the fucking people putting the porta potties there, but it seems like they always put them on a hill,
like at an angle.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, motherfucker, I hope you fall when you're shitting.
Yeah, like when you look into the bowl of the porta potty, it's always like the seat's like this and the water's like this.
Yep.
And it's like, that's a fucking dangerous angle because you could, in theory, seppuku and pee directly to where the wall meets the piss, and it would just splash back in your face.
Exactly.
In your face. It pissed your face. People don't like toilet talk, but folks, you listen to Joe Rogan to listen about MMA. We're gonna talk crap.
We're talking shit.
Yeah,
for real though.
But eventful week for Me. What about you?
It was pretty cool. I mean, it was kind of stressful, I'm not gonna lie, but I got one of the homies coming to work with us, so that's pretty cool. I didn't get to see him in the morning
Day.
when yeah, Mr. Dason.
Saint Dason.
I was he texted me in that morning when he was gonna go in, and I thought he was gonna go in earlier than me because usually that's how our interviews work. We get that person in earlier, and then we can like do what we do. You know, it's crunch time. But he came in at the same time we did. I didn't get to catch him. Otherwise, I would have been like, "Faggot." I would have called him something. Yeah.
What are we hiring queers
Yeah,
now?
yeah. What is this? Or what are you diversifying?
What are you, DEI?
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't get to catch him, and a bunch of my coworkers was like, "Is that your friend?" And I'm like, "Yeah." What do you think about him? They're like, "Oh, we didn't really get to see him. He was just wearing a hat, but he seems cool." He was wearing a button-up shirt, like all professional and shit. And I'm like, "Yeah, he does that. He's not professional though."
No. Wait till you get to know him. He's gonna face fucking no. But dude, I was listening to this podcast. Do you remember the guy that was that porn guy that was like, "This isn't a beach, lady. This is a bathtub"?
Yeah, Johnny Sins.
No. It was this dude who became like a pastor after.
No way.
Yeah. He's a pastor now, and he's like very anti because he got like fucked up. Like he got fucking raped.
Word.
Like fucking crazy. It was
like,
on.
was this before or after the porn?
Right at the end where he was like, I gotta fucking.
No, like when he got raped.
Yeah. Like right when he was like, I'm done.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it was like he said that they would do this shit because it was like too early 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, we would do these things where like you would go and people would hire the like porn company.
Yeah.
So like they'd get all their like client or not clients, their what like they're the people they had signed to their company.
Yeah.
And they would go and they just like they do these parties where like they would be like naked serving people drinks and shit. And he said that like some fashion mogul raped him, drugged him and raped him.
Like a man?
Yeah, I think he didn't say, but I was like, sounds.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a Diddy party.
It was like they don't do it no more.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah, but like they used to. It was only in like Europe too.
Yeah.
And he said that they would do like in like Spain and shit. They would do like live sex shows, but it'd be in like a stadium. There'd be like 100,000 people.
Holy shit!
Crazy.
So he's a pastor now.
Yeah, he fucking quit. And then he became a fucking pastor, like super anti.
Where at?
I don't know. I think like he was born in like South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I was assuming down there, but do you know who the Sean Ryan show is?
Yeah.
He's that ex-Navy SEAL badass dude. He does like war like vets.
Yeah.
Like and he'll be like
here's a fucking watch.
Huh?
Here's a watch. He always gives him a watch.
Does he?
Yeah, a fucking badass like expensive watch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he always gives him a watch. I think he might be sponsored by him or some shit.
He's dope though, dude.
Yeah.
Bro, and he usually has those dudes on, so like I saw that and I was kind of like cuz I didn't read about it cuz he posts like previews on Instagram and it was just him talking about how Kanye West is like going into darkness.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Meh." But then I like saw the what's it called? Like the fucking
context to it.
Yeah, and he was like ex-porn star turned pastor, like talking about dude, crazy. I mean, obviously the porn industry
is insane.
Is like, well, yeah, but it's like, you know, dirty.
Yeah, for sure.
But how they they manipulate people and like it's crazy, dude.
I can imagine, bro.
It's fucked up, dude. And he was like, yeah, there was times where there would be scenes I was in where like people were just pissing on me, and I was pissing on people, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I don't think I get paid any amount of money for that.
Yeah, but the way they start it is just it's gonna be you normal.
Yeah,
fuck a lady, but then they like lie to you, I guess, and they'll be like, oh, your stock's kind of down. They'll be like, all right, like what can you do? Like and it's just like I just want to do like normal sex, and they'll be like, okay, what are the things you won't do? And it'd be like fucking gangbang, anal, all that shit. And then they'll be like, oh, you're kind of down. No one's trying to book you for scenes. This person said they'd give you $50,000 to do an anal. They'll do that shit, and they'll be like, $50,000, that's a lot of money for one.
Yeah.
And then it's just like it goes like straight down. It's like,
well,
then to where you're doing like the most insane shit.
Yeah, but morally, like at that point, I feel like if I was in that situation, I would probably be like, nah.
That's what you think, but the money they were saying is
Right.
so insane. Like this guy was like, dude, I wasn't gonna do any of that, but he's like, it just gets to your head.
Yeah.
And he's like, all the people you're like hanging out with are like, you're on drugs. They're like, you know what I mean?
They're like, all the cool people are doing it too.
Yeah, they're just like, if you want to make it ahead in this business, you got to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, he was like, yeah, drugs, alcohol, all that shit. And he said that like and they would do like humiliation and shit.
Yeah,
like
I'm
the
sure.
producers, like they would sign your check and they would say like, what's it for? And it was like gangbang.
Yeah.
And you'd go cash it. And he said that he like went to the bed, like right before he quit, like he was planning on like killing himself or whatever.
Mhm.
Like he's done some insane shit. Like he was saying like he was dating a porn star. All his friends were porn stars. And it was like, he was saying this was like how like, normalized it was. He'd be like, we'd go out on like a date with one of our like friends, like a double date type thing.
Yeah.
And it would be like, he just fucked my girlfriend this morning, and
Like
I'd fucked his girlfriend last week.
Yeah.
For a scene. No, it wasn't like swinging though. It was just
For scenes.
yeah.
Oh,
Only for
yeah,
scenes.
yeah,
Like he would be like, somehow we convinced ourselves that we were monogamous, and this
Yeah.
was just the business. But he would be like, we'd be there, and we'd be no one would say nothing.
Yeah, it is pretty weird.
Yeah, like
That is-
it was just normal.
That's strange. I don't understand how people can be
Yeah, but I mean, dude, he was like, what? But yeah, man, it's crazy. And he was like, I was gonna kill myself. I got that check that said like, what you got like you did a gangbang.
Yeah.
Like you fucked a lady with a bunch of dudes, and it's not funny.
I feel like the bank teller would probably
The bank, no, he was saying he was like, I was hoping that she would like see it and look disgusted or something, and she didn't. She just like cashed it, and he said he started crying, and the lady came out and just like put her hand on his shoulder, and she was like, his name's Josh. She was like, Joshua, are you okay? And that's when he quit.
Yeah. People gotta ask if you're okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're bringing in like if I brought a check in that said meth distribution, I or like something crazy like fucking donkey fucking, they'd be like, and this is $1,000 for what? Yeah, but dude, it's nuts. And he's like, Diana, like he's talking about how like all like these like porn actresses are like killing themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, obviously
They're fucking having a hard time after quitting the industry.
adjusting. Yeah, nuts.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's something you got to think about being like going into the industry.
The way he started, he was like a fucking smart, like went to college, was like in like doing like medicine shit.
Yeah.
Not like doctor, but like I think he was going to be like a physical trainer,
Mhm.
a personal trainer type thing. And he was like, he went out to LA to be like a fucking actual actor,
And then they were like, porn.
model or actor, and he wasn't getting enough work. So someone was like, listen, it's a little weird. Keep in mind, this is in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So like this is like no one's gonna see it or whatever. The first video he did went viral, like #1 around the US.
Yeah.
And he was like, that was when he was just like, yep, fucking
This
said
is
he
my
did like
career.
1,000 scenes. Crazy.
That is pretty crazy.
But now he's like a fucking pastor. And I was listening to it, bro, like dude got fucked up for real.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's insane, bro. And like all like he's like like now he's like a fucking like obviously like very
Anti-porn.
very very anti.
Yeah.
And dude, just like he's talking about like all these like what's happening. I mean, now that he's like the age 10 years ago that people first saw porn was like 13.
Yeah.
Now it's like 8.
Yeah, bro.
He's like, this is gonna destroy our like society. Like we need, and his whole thing was being like, we gotta find like a way to like talk about sex in a, you know what I mean? Because I don't know about you, I never got to talk.
Never?
No, never. You did?
Not even in school?
Well, this was like it was like 2010s, bro. Like they didn't talk about that. Like they couldn't talk. The only thing they were saying was like,
I guess
the only thing was abstinence.
Back then, I guess, yeah, but fucking in school in like 5th grade, we got the talk.
Yeah, no, the only thing but it was like the man to reproduce, and it was like a fucking video from like 1920, and it was like man, see, the man that was gonna have a man. It was like that, and then they were like, all right, now the only way to stay safe is to not have sex till you're married. That was it, bro, and it was just like it was just they'd separate the boys and the girls, right?
Yes.
And so I remember just looking around at my buddies in elementary school,
just
like
giggling.
Yeah, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Talking about penis.
Did you penis?
Yeah.
Who in the penis?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I never got to talk though.
I didn't either.
Like
all my dad said was, "Don't get a girl pregnant," and I was like, I have no idea how to.
Yeah, the only talk I got was, I remember I told my mom if she could do me a favor and pick up a girl for me, and I didn't think she was gonna say yes because I was like 15 or something.
Right, you're like, gotta play it cool. You fucking did your hair and shit, and you're like, whew.
And she probably still thought I was a virgin, but at this time I wasn't. I'm like, let's go pick this girl up, and she's like, okay. So I get in the car, and I'm already like, fucking, like, I don't believe this is happening, right? She's taking me to go pick up a girl,
and you're like, holy shit,
yeah,
holy shit,
and
I'm finna coom.
She pulls up to the CVS, and she gives me her card, and she's like, here, go inside and buy a big box of condoms.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She was like, go buy like a 32 pack or something.
What the fuck?
And
I didn't think that at all. I thought she was going to go, listen, there's anything. You just got to. No, she just was like, here, I'm a supplier. You go in there, strap them things to your thighs and get out of there.
Yeah. She's like, buy a big box. And then when I came back, I bought like a 32 pack of Trojans. And she was like, make sure that every time you think that it's about to happen, you use that. Like, make sure. And I was like, okay.
That's insane.
Yeah. Well, I didn't use any of the
It'd be funny
condoms.
if you came back with, like, gummy worms and you were like, I failed. I didn't know what to do.
I bought the share size of Haribo.
Yeah, you came back with, like, trolley and a fucking Gatorade, and you were like, there's too many. Yeah, you come back with, like, a flat screen. And you're like, you said, how am I going to play Minecraft? But, dude, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was the only talk I got.
I didn't get shit. I remember my mom found, like, a condom in my room, and she was like, you motherfucker, and that was the whole problem. She took it away, and I was like, well, now that I'm still going to...
Like, you're just posing me as a risk, mom.
It's like, I'm a commando now.
Yeah. Yeah, homie going in raw.
I'm a Navy SEAL. I'm getting the mission done with what I have. But yeah, I remember being a kid, like not a kid, but like a teenager too. Like, man, I'm not even gonna go to college. I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be a porn star and fuck the hottest chicks and all that shit. I remember. Did you ever think that?
No.
You really were like, yeah, but being a male porn star must be dope. You just get to fuck hot chicks.
Nah.
You never thought that ever? This is a big talk in my friend group.
No, I would kind of think of them as like they're kind of like sex mules.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm talking like from a point where you didn't understand what that was, where you were just like, what's the job? Dope.
And that's what I'm saying, though, too. Like, at that point, when I was watching porn at a young age, I was like, this cannot be real. I was like, this can't. It's fucking, I was like, no.
Damn, dude, you grew up a lot more intelligent than me. My jobs that I was going to do getting out of high school was male porn star, grow weed, dispensary.
Damn, that's crazy.
That was it. And then I realized both of those would probably fucking suck.
Yeah, growing weed would probably suck. It's a lot of work.
Money.
And money, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of legal shit.
Yeah, but no, that was my plans, dude.
Nah, I always felt like that was just kind of a, like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, now looking back on it, it was like, oh, that'd be insane. Because, not only like how horrible it was, but I wouldn't go very far with my tiny penis.
You'd be like the husband that leaves for work.
Yeah, I'd be like, honey, I'm going, and then I'd come back, be like, what the hell? That would be me. They'd be like, don't take your clothes off, you fucking
Yeah. You're just a pizza guy today.
Yeah, but you're the fucking pizza guy. No, you're not even the pizza guy. They're like, you're the guy that sends the pizza guy that has his dick in the box.
Yeah.
You're the guy who goes, hey, Anforetti, you got 2 orders down the street. Take them now. They ordered extra sausage. That would be me.
That was your audition right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Brazzers, you know where to go.
yeah, if you want to see a dude that kind of looks fat and has a tiny dong, yell at someone else.
No, when I was young, my dream career was to be those people that are at the coroner's office figuring
mortician?
figuring out why you died.
Yeah, mortician, like autopsies.
It's like
Criminal forensic coroner.
it's something. I remember I found out it took like 10 years of school.
And you're like,
I was like, fuck that.
well, I'm going to start smoking dope.
I might as well be a damn doctor. I was smoking dope when I had this thought.
That'd be crazy. Like, they bring in, like, a murder victim. They're like, we're going to need to know anything. You're just high as shit. Like,
I'm like, he got hit with the damn
looks
bullet.
like, if I had to guess, he looks dead. And they're like, that's a woman. And you're like, God.
Fuck.
Well, I don't know then. I'm all out of ideas, fellas. Let's call in a fucking psychic.
Yeah, I wanted to be one of them people, and then I was like, nah, too many years in school.
Yeah,
That's a lot of time in school, bro.
Yeah, you got to be a doctor.
Exactly. Fuck that.
And then also, I was like, I was also, when I was like younger, I was like, I'm going to be the president. I remember everyone was like, no, you're not. Choose something else. And I was like, it was like, you can be whatever you want. What do you want to be? And I was like, president. And they were like, I think my second grade teacher was like, it has to be realistic. And then someone else was like, fucking astronaut. And they were like, good.
Damn.
And I was like,
They fucking shit on your dreams.
yeah, they're like, you won't be president. That guy, the kid that like is in a wheelchair could be an astronaut. And I was like, what the fuck?
You guys are fucking hating.
He's
Yeah, dude.
he can't walk. How's he going to moonwalk?
They didn't do
They don't
that.
call it the moon roll.
They told us to do that shit in our class too, but thankfully they didn't shit on our dreams.
Yeah, I got crushed.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
And I was like, well, fuck, I'm not going to be a politician. I could be a politician now.
At that, I think we were in like 4th grade when the teacher asked us that, like what we wanted to be. And I was like, I wrote down rapper, but I didn't put 2 P's, and it was just raper. That ass, bro. And
like Donald Trump, we got one.
it was like a end of the class like activity. She was like, all right, line up and give me like your little slips and I'll read them and like talk to you about them.
Raper.
Yeah.
Did she read it like that?
She was like, you want to be a raper? And I'm like, what? No.
No, I want to be like Ice-T.
Yeah. She's like, you better put another P on there. I was like, damn, I'm not going.
I'm going to be a fucking dictionarist.
Yeah.
Damn, being a raper would be, what if they were just like, well,
Certified raper.
sort of.
That shit's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that was, I feel like they should have been like put 2 and 2 together. Your teacher sounds dumb as hell, if I'm being honest.
My teacher was cool as fuck.
I'm not saying she wasn't.
She was cool as fuck.
But, you know, being like, oh no, how old were you?
I was like, I don't know what.
Like
How
10
old
or
are you?
11?
Yeah, well, how old are you when you're in 4th grade?
Probably like that.
Yeah,
12?
something
maybe?
like that. Something like that.
Yeah, like 10 or something.
Yeah.
Be like, oh yeah, this 10-year-old wants to be a raper. They should have put 2 and 2 together and been like, what else could this mean?
She was like that though. Like she was kind of hard on the students because she just felt like the school district was a bunch of wussies.
Yeah, I do wish I ever had like a teacher that was like, you do this.
Yeah, she was cool, bro.
All my teachers were like fucking, no, I had a couple good ones, but most of them were just like, well, it was public schools. So yeah, they're mostly exhausted from dealing with bullshit.
Yeah. Thankfully, the kids that like in my grade and when I was in school weren't fucking like over the top with shit.
Dude, our Warsaw was bad as fuck, dude.
I bet, bro.
Dude, I got in trouble one time because I called my math teacher a faggot.
That's grounds for getting you in trouble, though.
Yeah, but it was literally like on the level it was, all I got was just go out in the hall. That was it.
You want to know what happened at my school?
Huh.
One time, I was in a welding class for a long time, for like the last 3 years of my high school.
That's dope.
Right? It was pretty cool. The first year we had a pretty big class because a lot of the upperclassmen were interested in it. We did like goat fences for a farmer locally, and we took a picture for the paper, like the newspaper, and one of the upperclassmen dropped the
Yeah.
like under his waist, and I call him a professor because he was fucking dope. The professor noticed it, and it was already on the paper, but he goes up to the dude and he's like, "Is this a gang sign?" And like he starts like, he is like very stern that it's a gang sign and it's nothing else. And he fucking got that kid expelled.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It was bullshit.
Why do you say he was a professor then?
Because he was old. He was old, and that was kind of like, you
Fool,
know.
what if he went up to him and was like, "Fool, you better stop repping your set. You do that G on some G shit."
I'll call him a professor because he was wearing I don't know, he had a lot of dedication to the craft.
I could tell.
He would wear a pacemaker, and like when you wear those, you can't be around welding machines because of like the
Magnetic?
Yeah, like anything could make it jump, and that shit's keeping your heart consistent, right? Nah, bro, he would be in there just watching us, chilling with us.
Yeah, you should have chased him around and been like,
every single day he would risk his life to teach us.
it sounds like it.
Yeah, and he would also be like, "I don't care what you guys want to do with your life, but tell me, because I'm old and like I've been around." Like he has photos of him overseas and like all these different places, and he's like, "I can figure out a way to help you. It doesn't even matter if you don't want to weld. Like, you can do whatever you want, and I'm gonna help you."
Dude, we had this one sub
Yeah.
who was like old as hell. He was just a sub. And I think he was like a war vet. So he'd just come in. No one does anything. But
Yeah.
he'd be up there like, "Yeah, and I was 19 when we landed on Iwo Jima." And everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And he'd be like, I think they stopped having him because like one day he was just like, "I killed a man."
Nah.
I think he said something like, because obviously it's like someone was like, "You ever kill anyone?" And he was like, "I remember the first man I killed."
Damn.
So-
Somebody snitched on him then.
No, everyone was, yeah, for sure.
For sure.
But dude was dope. Probably dead now.
You think?
World War II guy? Yeah, for sure. That was like 2016, dude.
Damn.
He was like, he couldn't hear nothing. Like he just showed up. Dude was the man.
Bro was a sub and he couldn't hear.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You just come in and talk. Like I remember it was biology class and he was like, "Well, here's the thing. When I grew up, like it was like the best class ever, though."
Did you ever get to experience a teacher in her first year? Like this is the teacher, and it's her first year of teaching, and you're her first
Or
class.
his.
Right? Or his?
No, never. Did you?
Yeah, mine was
Did you
a
break
teacher.
her down?
Yeah, we did,
Yeah.
bro. It was pretty bad. Like, honestly, thought that we were a pretty good class for her because she ended up having us help, or her husband came into the class and was like, "Help me propose to her."
Oh shit!
And we helped, and it was like a whole thing. It was fucking like memorable.
And then you broke her down.
And then towards the end of the year, she was crying because like we were, I guess,
Loud as hell.
Yeah, we were wild. I guess
And then nothing changed.
nothing changed.
Yeah. No, we broke a sub down.
Did she quit?
She quit.
Damn,
She walked out of the class.
that's bad.
Yeah, and I think it was just loud as fuck. She couldn't. No one was listening.
Yeah,
She was just like, and then she like sat down and started like just like this.
crying.
Yeah, and everyone like for a second was like, and then someone was like, "Yo, she's fucking crying," and then it was like someone just threw chum in the water, and we're all great whites, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, she got up, she put her like laptop in her bag, and just walked out of the class sobbing, and we were all like,
Fuck.
but dude, then we were all like, "Oh, we can just leave."
Yeah.
Yeah, but It was fucked up. I feel horrible. I didn't actually. I'll be honest. I was more of a quiet, bookish guy.
Yeah, you're a bookworm.
Not really, but I remember being like, oh! No, but it was fucked up. Sometimes I'll think about it and be like, damn. Yeah, it was fucked up.
That is pretty crazy. Making a sub quit.
Yeah.
She's just a substitute.
Yeah. And then, the next day, like when the teacher was back, she was just like, because all the teachers at the school were like hard asses because they had to be to survive.
Yeah.
And I would do shit like, just throw pencils in the ceiling.
Nah, you're a dick.
Pretty consistently, and I remember just
it'd get stuck up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Just it was hilarious, but I'd always get in trouble for that.
Yeah, you're fucking poking holes in the ceiling.
Yeah.
The shit we would do is like wet up paper towels and like stick them up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I got in trouble because one time it was a history class, which is hilarious because I love history. But I remember just I grabbed one of the big ass history textbooks and just chucked it at the ceiling, and the tiles all fell down.
That's fucking crazy.
Like I got 3 tiles, one fell up, and then the rest just came down.
No.
And then I remember I was just like, "Hey!" And I was like, "Oh, fuck." And I was like to my boys, I was like, "Don't tell them I did it." And then they were like, "He did it," because she was like, "Everyone's gonna stay after class." And then they were just like, "He did it," and I was like, "You motherfuckers."
Snitch ass niggas.
Then I had to stay after class.
Damn, yeah. Everybody would have went through it. Nobody would have found out. They wouldn't have said shit.
Yeah, but nah.
We're not fucking staring after class.
Yeah, she was like, they were just like, when she said, "If I don't find out who did it, you're all staying." And they're just immediately like, "Max did it," and I was like, "Fucking assholes."
Yeah, fucking bitches. We had a laser pointer one time, and we were fucking with the teacher when she was teaching. And this is like when I was a freshman, sophomore, because those 2 years I did not give a shit. But we were messing with the teacher, and she finally noticed. And the 3 guys, us 3 that were doing it, we were like looking at each other like, oh fuck, like she's about to crack down on her ass. We see the principal come in, and he's like, "We're gonna check everybody's bag," because I guess she called the principal for like it was distracting her. She starts. They start going through everybody's bag, and at this point, I had the laser pointer with me.
Oh, dude, you were riding hot.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck," because they're gonna find it regardless, right?
I would have dumped it. I would have put it in someone else's bag.
Nah, I don't know what it was, but I was just really quick thinking, and I had like rips in my pants, and
slid it down.
Yeah, it had like a carabiner clip on the laser pointer, and I just clipped it to like one of the rips
inside of your
and
jeans.
I let it slip on my pants, and they suspected me and those 3 guys hard as fuck.
They're like, "We're the only people fucking around right now. It's one of these 3 people."
Yeah, and they went as far as taking us outside of the classroom and like frisking us, but they never found it on us, and all 3 of us got ISS.
For what? Nothing was found.
Exactly.
You should have. You should have.
We got ISS for like 2 days, and they were like, well, the teacher like was very certain that it was you 3, and I was like, she can't prove it though.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember that? There's this video of this guy that definitely killed his own kid that represented himself in court.
Oh
the
yeah,
dude with the like locks.
Yeah,
and he was like, went up to the other kid and he was like, "Did you see me?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember the comments originally were like, "Wow," because someone made an edit of him being like, "I would never," and it was really righteous and shit and whatever fucking bullshit, but he like did it for sure.
Yeah.
And he was just seeing the rest of him be in the courtroom be like, "You got to understand," and all this shit.
So passionate about.
Yeah, but he like definitely,
kid.
and then they're like, "Here's the evidence you did it," and he was like, "You should have hit that, dude. You should have represented yourself and the other guys."
Well, once they're kind of like, "You're getting ISS." What the fuck am I going to say?
You'd have been like, "No, I don't want to. I have things to do."
At this point, I'm just happy that they didn't find nothing on us, and we're not getting like anything worse. This ISS, bro. You get to sit in there and fucking play mini clip games. Yeah.
Our ISS was pretty boring.
Our shit was cool, bro. It was like right next to the study hall. So like we would crack open the door sometimes and be like, "What's up, fuckers?"
Yeah, and they'd be like,
"Those guys are in ISS."
I ripped a dope ass fart in ISS. ISS was all day.
Yeah, it was all day. She was gay.
That shit was, I forgot. I literally just until now, it was crazy.
Yep.
They'd be like, work on what you can. But then it was like, no, we're in ISS. We're not doing that. And it was like, no phones, no nothing, dude. I was in there and one of my buddies just so happened to be there that same day, but they knew. So they were like, you have to sit. You can't sit together because no one could sit together.
Yeah.
So they'd be like, he just sat the seat like behind me. It was like, for some reason in the school I went to, like a lot of the classes like were built like, the classrooms are built like fucking like lecture halls.
Really?
Like there would be like levels.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it was for no reason. He was behind me, and he fucking just went. He had his head down, and he was like, "Yo," and I was like, I couldn't say nothing. And I just kind of turned my head, and he was like, "Bro, rip a fart," and I was like, "Dude," and I just hit a fucking. It's quiet, dead quiet. The teacher's just up there, like on the computer, and I just hit the. I thought it was gonna be like a.
Yeah, but it was a.
It was like a.
Yeah.
It sounded like a fucking machine gun. It was just like,
damn,
and then
son.
She was like, "Hey," and I was immediately, I didn't expect it to be like that. So my reaction was like, oh. So like she saw my face, and she was like, "I don't want any of that crap in this classroom." And I was like, "I just slipped. It slipped." And she was like, "No, it didn't. I saw your face."
And then fucking straining for it,
but yeah. Everyone in the class thought I was a dumbass because I didn't want to. I was trying to hit the silence, like,
yeah.
How long you been with her?
How long you been with her? Nah, our ISS never had a teacher or like a supervisor.
That's crazy.
It was in the office, so like every now and then, staff would just walk by the door
and they'd be like, "Everyone's still alive."
Yeah, that was kind of our supervision.
And you went to a nice school.
It was decent. I mean, I wouldn't say nice.
Compared to like,
yeah. Others compared to others, yeah.
Bro, all our bathrooms had cops in them.
All of our bathrooms had fucking kids smoking vapes in there. But it was cool though, because like a lot of those guys were low key. Like they weren't like, "Oh, dude, fucking Bryce is hitting a vape in there. Let's fucking go." And then there's like a big crowd there.
It was just everyone was like, it was like, "I'm Spartacus."
Yeah, you just pull up to go take a piss, and homie would be like,
"Third stall.
Yo, you want to hit the dead pen? Do you want to hit the dad pen?"
Yeah. One time it was my sophomore year before I got expelled. My gym class had these two other dudes I was cool with. They also got expelled before I did.
Yeah.
So the end of class, I was just like, none of my buddies are here. I'm just gonna
fuck around.
I'm gonna fucking pop 4 Xanax and get expelled.
Bro, I had a buddy that has like the same story that took Xanax during gym class. Keep going with your story though. I want to hear it.
Oh yeah, so like me and these guys would always be in the bathroom before gym hitting the dab pen.
Yeah.
Dude, this dude one day had some shit that was like, I still stand on it that it was not weed.
It was laced.
It had to have been. There's no way, because I remember hitting it and then immediately after it was just tripping I tripped for like 2 days.
Oh my God. That shit was like a fucking PCP.
I have no idea. But I remember walking out on the gym floor and like I was like, and I remember my eyes weren't red.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa. That was crazy. And I remember just walking out on the gym floor and all along the fucking other side of the gym, there were these dudes from like the Amazon with the blow darts.
Oh my God.
Just standing there. And I remember being like, yo, what the fuck? But I was fucked up for like days, dude. 2 days.
Damn.
No, you go ahead though.
Yeah, my buddy that fucking got expelled, he was I don't know why he thought it was a bright idea to take some Xans. He put the Xanax in his water bottle and was drinking Xanax water, right?
Yeah.
In gym class.
Yeah, and then he was just like,
as you're doing physical activities.
They don't mix.
They don't. So towards the end of the gym class, I think he fell asleep and they were like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" And you're on a fucking downer, bro. You're just fucking
the ultimate downer, which was probably like laced with like something.
Probably, but yeah, they fucking expelled him and he was never allowed back. That shit was crazy, bro.
Dude, yeah, mine was And I can tell you how this happens because when you are like, when you were like, I'm going to do this before something.
Yeah.
The reason you do that is because you're already on Xanax.
Yeah.
So when it's like, why would he do that during gym? It's because he was already on Xanax.
Probably.
So making decisions like a retard.
Probably.
Mine was, I woke up in the morning, still kind of barred out. Yeah. And then I was like, I'm going to take like 3 of these.
Yeah.
And then like blacked out. I remember it was me and my dad. We went to Dunkin' Donuts before school, and I was just there like, ugh.
I never was a big fan of Xans.
I was bad on them for like 3 years.
I took a football one time, and I just didn't like it, bro. I was like in the shower. I got out the shower, and I was like, cool, I'm going to smoke a blunt. This is going to be relaxing. But it was like anxiety inducing.
Really? Mine was the opposite. Mine would just, I'd literally turn into a like dumbass.
Nah. Like
but we were taking ones, we didn't realize that the yellow bars were fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought those were prescriptions. So like I OD'd like 3 times.
Yeah, no.
Because they were like, yeah, we found fentanyl in it, and I'd just be at the hospital like,
yeah, back then I always heard that the bars were kind of like, eh.
Yeah, they're fake.
So I was like, okay, I'll take one, but only if I find a football.
The footballs were real.
Yeah, and they were like 2 milligrams. I was like, whatever.
Nope. Yeah, the bars were like 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. And I just remember, all I remember was it was like making my body wave. Like I was like,
it's not enjoyable.
It was fucking weird.
It's not enjoyable at all. It's not something where you're like, yeah.
It's
not like a perk where you're like, I feel dope. This one's just literally you're like, I remember calling so here's how it happens. Dunkin' Donuts was a disaster. I yelled at the barista for something that they didn't do. I was like, you didn't give me my drink. And I was with a buddy that like my dad was taking both of us to school, and we were like, yeah, let's get donut. I was like, you didn't make my drink. And they were like, you didn't order one. And I was like, fucking shit. And I had donut all over my face because I'm eating it like, so it's like fucking green donut all over my face. And I'm like, you didn't have my drink. And they were like, you didn't order one. And I'm like, you fucking stole it from me immediately.
Give my matcha now.
So I don't think we were kicked out, but they asked us to leave.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
And so my dad in the car is like, what the fuck? Because he already knew I was on that shit. So he was like, you doing that shit before school? That's insane.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
And then we got to the school. My dad goes, my buddy gets out, and then I was about to get out, and he goes, wait, get out of the car. Gets me out of the car. He's like walking a straight line in front of like dropping off for school. Everyone. He's just like walking a straight line, and I'm like, argh. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, he just sent me in.
Damn.
Yeah, so like I fell down the stairs, split my head open, got up. There was 2 flights of stairs. Tried to go down the second one. Same shit. Fell down the stairs.
Split your head open?
Yeah, the back of my head was just dripping blood.
Fuck.
No worry.
Yeah,
went to gym class.
I'm pretty sure you didn't even feel it.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Went to gym class. I'm changing or whatever. The fucking my administrator walked in. He had like 2 of the cops with him.
Yeah.
And he was like, Max, come here. And I had my pants down to my ankles changing, and I tried to run, and I like stumbled. Our gym locker room was just concrete benches, and I just busted my fucking chin open.
Damn, so
tripping.
You were on that shit bad.
Yeah, so I was just bleeding out of my back, the back of my head and the front of my face, just like,
It's fine.
And then, yeah, they were like, are you on something? And I was like, I'm not. And they're like, you obviously are. And I remember calling my administrator. I was like, you're a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And then, it was not good, dude.
I think all the administration at my school and all the safety officers for never getting on my ass for being a dope smoker, bro. They knew I was a dope smoker ever since like freshman year. I remember I sold my skateboard to go in on like a purchase with my buddies, and it was like out of town, 40 minutes. We're driving back 40 minutes. We're not even old enough to drive, so we have a driver. Didn't know this dude was getting drunk the whole time we were waiting for this meetup to happen. He was getting drunk. We're on the way back on a fucking highway. State trooper pulls him over. We got popped, right?
For sure.
But we're underage. We're all minors in the car besides the driver. Driver knew he fucked up. Shout out to him, bro. You know who you are. But he took the whole fall for it.
Nice.
Like, he got pulled out the car, and I heard him say, like, hey, man, all that shit in there is mine immediately. And I was like,
Nice.
that's what's up, bro. Like, you knew you fucked up, shouldn't have been drinking, and you got us all into this trouble. That was like on a Thursday night.
Of course.
And then Friday morning, we go back to school. And I remember I saw the safety officer in front of the office, and he's like, hey, come here. And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I know you were involved in that arrest last night. And he was just telling me to, like,
chill.
Yeah, he was like, hey, man, you need to chill because you don't even need to be doing all that.
Right.
And I was like, okay. You're right, though. I'll need my skateboard back. Like, I was fucking pissed. I went to go get it back. I was like, hey, bro.
That's mine.
Yeah, I sold it to him, and I fucking found out that he stole, like, his parents' money to buy it from me. And I was like, yeah, nigga, I'm going to take it back.
Now.
Yeah.
I remember I sold my I had just upgraded phones.
Yeah.
Sold my old phone for 30 bars.
Yep.
Killed them in a week.
Yep.
My worst, bro, right before my parents made me get clean, which they should have, it was 30 a week.
That's crazy.
Of definitely fake.
It's like a whole script.
Yeah. 30 a week, and then I'm getting off. It was the worst, bro. It was the worst thing ever. It literally, like, they had to. My psych was like, he gave me like medications because if I just quit, I would have died.
Yeah.
So he was like, you got to do this. And I remember just literally there's this whole part of like it was like 3 weeks of getting off it that I don't remember.
That's crazy.
It was fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up.
But we made it.
We here, nigga.
Yes, we are.
Completed the Wallet Challenge.
The wall of flame.
The Wallet Challenge.
I'd like to thank,
the Spicy Chicken Wing Challenge.
Oh, Spicy Chicken Wing Challenge.
Do you think you're retired from spicy challenges?
Definitely.
I think you could do food eating challenges, though.
Yeah, I could.
Because you fucking eat fast as fuck. Like you were in the military or something.
I don't know why I've always done that.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, you can give yourself heartburn a lot if you eat like that.
Heartburn's nothing. This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
It just sucks, bro. I had that real bad when I was younger. I used to take like pills. They're discontinued now. I guess they caused like real bad stomach problems.
You take pills for them?
I used to. It was real bad. I was like old man status.
Yeah, I've only gotten heartburn a couple times. It sucks.
Yeah, bro. I would drink like a fucking Sprite. And then the rest of the day, I'd be like,
oh. You gird it out. You gird it out.
For real, bro. That shit sucked.
That's dope.
I was taking stomach pills and antidepressants. I was, bro.
Bro, I remember this one. All right, it was me, our other buddy. We went out. We were going to this party with you. And I remember you took like 2 trazodone.
Oh, yeah.
Your legs stopped working.
I took 2 fucking trazodones, which, by the way, they don't fucking do anything to you. Like, you got to take enough.
They make you sleep.
Right. But you got to take enough to, like, have something going on.
Right. But I remember we poured up some lean.
Took some trazodone.
You took trazodone when we went to a party, and then we were leaving the party. What's up? We're almost done. I remember we were leaving the party, and you just fell.
Yeah.
Like your legs just went out, and I was like, oh, shit.
It'll do that to you.
It'll do that to you. It was crazy. And I was like, why was he taking sleeping?
I don't know.
I
was
have
in
no
a weird...
idea.
I don't even know why I was fucking sipping cough syrup, bro. Fucking... I remember I met up with my guy once, and fucking... I was like on a date. And I was like, hey, I'm going to pull up over here real quick. She's like, okay. And then bought this fucking... the Quagan bottle that we have in the studio.
It's a quag.
Yeah. And
Quag.
she's like, what'd you just spend on that? And I told her, and she was like,
what the
that's
fuck?
a lot of money. And I'm like, yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah, dude. I wasn't ever into opiates that bad. I mean, I was when I was in like just got into high school, but not like crazy. But our buddy died, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that because he didn't even die off like fake ones. He died off like real deal Percocet. He took like 3 of them.
Yeah,
330s and just died. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. It's easy to fall down that pit, though.
I get it. I mean, like, he was fucked up a lot, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro. He was like, dude was like 17, I think, when he died. It was nuts.
Died way too young.
Way too young, dude. It was fucked up.
Gotta stay away from that.
Yeah, but now I'm just on light beer.
Now we on that Miller Lite Gold.
That's my bag now.
The light beer.
Yes. Yes.
Light beer occasionally.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I bought a pack of Bush Apple for the shop.
Yeah,
That shit's gone.
of course.
Yeah.
I never liked liquor.
The first time I got drunk was on liquor.
Did you throw up everywhere?
No, I threw up into a bucket.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Shout out to my mom.
Yeah, my first one was I was in 7th grade.
That's crazy.
7th grade, my parents used to drink a bunch, like liquor.
Yeah.
And they had like down under the bar there, they had like all these different types of liquor, and I poured like you know those airsoft where you get airsoft pellets?
Yeah.
Like they have the little tube at the top.
Uh-huh.
I filled one of those up completely with like Tito's.
You're just sipping it.
Dude, I slammed the whole thing.
You're crazy.
Blacked out, threw up everywhere.
The first time I was drinking, I remember I was like,
Oh, fuck the video.
did it cut off?
Let me go check. Hold on.
I think the screen just went dark. But the first time, oh no, it did cut off. Technical difficulties. I remember the first time I was drinking, I knew I couldn't handle liquor. So I was taking shots of the Hennessy.
Oh, yeah, the card's full.
Is it?
Yeah, we'll keep going, though. I'll put the video in as long as we can.
Yeah, I was just taking shots of the Hennessy. But beer, I remember my dad made me grab a Solo cup, and he poured half of his beer in there. And I was like, bro, just give me the whole beer.
Right.
Yeah, but I wasn't slamming liquor when I was like barely getting into it. I was kind of scared.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right way to go.
I was scared of like not being able to control myself.
I was all for it.
Yeah, bro.
I was going crazy.
I was not down. And I did not. Well, I mean, it was my family around, so I could trust them. And I did get fucked up that first time. But after that, when I was like venturing off on my own, I was like, I don't know if I fully trust these people to take care of me the rest of the night, you know?
Right.
So I was like, maybe I should just drink where I'm
Chill.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, no. I've come a long way. We both have came a long way.
Yeah, bro.
We're unk status now.
We're unk status. I got one of my, he was 21, but he's like, George, you're reaching unk status, bro. And I'm like, what you mean? And he's like, yeah, bro, you're fucking 24 now. He's like, you're getting old. I'm like, dude, I got 2 years on you.
You fucking bitch.
Like,
I'll kill you. And
I
eat
don't
your
take
asshole.
offense to it at all. Cause like everybody's going to get older. Like you can't stop that. Right. But it's just who you are. Like you think I'm some kind of Scrooge, bro?
I'm Scrooged up.
There's certain shit I can't tolerate no more for sure. Like if you're telling me some bullshit story or something stupid, like I'll just be like, I don't care.
Right.
I just cut the conversation off right there.
Right.
I just can't tolerate it, bro.
I get that.
Yeah.
Well, we did an hour.
It's been an hour.
Well, 59 minutes.
59 minutes. But
You got anything?
The Vossers got the motherfucking steak.
We got steaks upstairs, and that's going to be
some
exciting.
taters.
Steaks and taties.
Steaks and taters.
Steaks and taties. You got any? Are you going to drop anything soon?
I want to. I've been thinking about it.
We'll do it.
Probably the following week, this Friday.
Good Friday.
Yeah. No, that was last week.
I
Or
know,
like 2 weeks ago.
It's just dicking around, I guess.
But yeah, 2 weeks from now, it'll be like Mother's Day or some shit. So I think I'll do it
1
on
week
Friday.
from now.
Yeah, a week from now.
That's going to be dope. I'm going to try to drop some shit. Silas is making me a cover art on Photoshop, so we'll
Hell
see
yeah.
what happens. But thanks for tuning in. 8th episode. This was a good one, dude.
8th episode.
We're getting good at this shit.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right.
See ya.
But I have a good time.
Bye.